Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now, I normally film the outside of the shop, but you're going to have to put up with a stock photo from the internet today, as the little bit of footage that I got from this branch down in Enfield got corrupted. Luckily, the rest didn't. Now, I've come down to this particular branch to buy a certain game today, and it's within this pile. So let's see if you can guess what one it is by the end of today's video. Now, lovely Neo Geo Pocket there. I do love those additions. They're really striking and great display pieces. I'm not a massive fan of the Neo Geo Pocket itself though. Now, a really nice copy of Zelda on the Game Boy Color there. Really good condition, I must say. So we head straight inside to the Enfield branch, and so far so good. It looks like it's a fair size, and it looks to me like they've got some pretty good options in the windows here if you're looking for control pads, most definitely, especially on your PlayStation 5. But what a great selection they have here today. Now, I'm not really in the market at the moment. Over the Christmas period, I managed to get a gift. I got the Astrobot one, and I'm really happy with that. And that means I've got 3 PS5 controllers. I don't need no more than 3. One as a backup is more than enough, I would say. Now, me and my son was having a conversation about the PS4 controllers and how they might actually be the best PlayStation controller of all time. What's your view? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I've got a good selection of GameCube stuff here. GameCube is not that frequently found in CEX, and when it is, it's normally in very small sections. Now, granted, it's not the biggest section, yeah, I know, but just to have at least over 10 games, that's not bad at all. Street Racer there on the Super Nintendo, a really good game, a very underrated, probably overshadowed by Mario Kart. Couple of Sega bits here as well, some Dreamcast stuff and some Master System stuff, but nothing really to write home about. Got a nice condition, a fat silver PS2 here, and it really doesn't show it justice in this video. It really is in nice condition. Some more PS1 titles here. Resident Evil Survivor is one I do need at some point, although I'm not in the market for it today. There is another game, as I mentioned earlier when we was looking in the window, that I've come down to this branch specifically to check out to see if it's in good condition, and hopefully leave and take it home. Now, every CEX that I go to has some sort of steering wheel device for the PlayStation, PC, whatever it is. It's not really my bag, but they're everywhere. So I'm going to start keeping an eye out for some of these things to see if I can muster up some vouchers by trading them in, because they seem to be pretty good value. Now, no matter what CEX you go, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you're always going to have an abundance of Nintendo Switch 1s. Now, the Wii U there, I'm still trying to go for the full set. We'll have an update on that for you guys very soon in 2026. I did put the hunt on pause for a little while, but there's a significant update to the Wii U full set coming to the channel really soon, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We are going for that full set. Blood and Truth on the PlayStation 4, possibly the best VR game out there on the system, and Catherine as well. What a great game Catherine is. I really need to spend more time on that game. I have played it loads, but it's such a good game. I would say I just haven't played it enough. Now, the PlayStation 4, it might actually be the best time to start buying some of these games before they rise in price down the line. The PlayStation 4 is really good value at the moment. There's not a great deal of games that are in the higher price bracket right now. you can easily mount a great collection on your PS4 at pretty good rates. Now, I don't think it's going to stay that way for too long as console generations keep moving. The PlayStation 4 will at some point become a little bit more expensive and a little bit more obscure. When I say obscure, I mean not completely obscure, because it was a huge selling system. But so was the PlayStation 2. And look at games like Forbidden Siren. That was at one point a £6 game in CEX. Now go look how much it is with the manual. It's going to happen with this generation at some point as well. But the difference here will be that manuals won't be a thing. It's just going to be the game only. That's going to be the price that a game is. You won't be paying for manuals like you do with some games. Some games are like 50% of the value, aren't they? Manuals aren't a thing really these days. Now, I always say I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the PS5. One week I'm buying for it and the other week I'm just like, there's not enough on it. I'm very fickle, I'll admit that. But the Precinct is one that I want to pick up, especially it comes with a lovely steelbook, but that one wasn't in great condition. Still Wakes the Deep there, absolutely brilliant game. I played through that over the Christmas period or just before, and I had such a great time with that one. I highly recommend, if you see that game between £15 and £20, add it to your collection. It's more of a walking simulator, there's no real combat involved, but wow, what a great game with horror elements. And alas, we move on to the Dead Box, and I keep calling it that because I just have no incentive to really collect for this system at the moment. Do you? If you do, let me know in the comments below, because I'm just really done with Xbox as a company. I love the OG Xbox, I love the Xbox 360, and to a point I really enjoyed the Xbox One. But since they brought the Series X out and some of the decisions that these guys have made, I don't know, especially in the last quarter of 2025 as well, it's just led me to think, is it worth investing any money into their games? Now, as I've said, I'd love to hear your views on what you think about Xbox. Do you still buy for it? Do you not? I mean, I talk to game shop owners up and down the country and they say that they struggle to shift Xbox games from this current generation and the last. And a lot of that is down to Game Pass. But a system that I still buy for, and I always will, I think, because it has such a vast array of games, is the Switch. Here's one I wouldn't mind picking up at some point, and that is Dredge. I own it digitally, and I haven't really put a great deal of time into it, and I think that's because I really want to own it physically before I put the time into such a game. People tell me it's a great time. It's a very relaxed kind of game the more you get into it. And yeah, it really intrigues me to get further into that game. Now sadly there wasn't much on the Switch here, or the Switch 2 today, that really piqued my interest, that made me want to pick up and spend my cash and my vouchers on them today. Oh look, it's more Dead Box. I don't know, I'm just a little bit bewildered by the whole system. The game you're seeing there, Gears of War, one of its biggest franchises, is now on PlayStation. I don't know if that was a really good decision or not. We've got Saw at £12 there on the 360. Now, for a franchise movie tie-in based game, I really enjoyed Saw. Not so much the second one I've heard. I haven't played it, but I've heard it's not a very good game. But the first one is very, very good, and it's one that I need to complete at some point. I own it on the PS3, and I think I'm about halfway to 3/4 of the way through it. But being the sort of gamer that I am, I keep going over to other stuff. That's what happens when you have a backlog. Sometimes you kind of just get stuck on a game and you move on to something else. It's not a good habit to have, but it's one that I've definitely picked up, and I need to try and rectify that. Now there's a game you don't see too often, Dark on the Xbox 360. I'm going to need to double check to see if I actually own that physically. I do remember buying it on the last day of the Xbox store, the 360 store, before it completely shut down for around about £1. But I don't know if I got it physically. I'm gonna have to consult my gaming list or app or whatever I use. Now we've got a limited edition version of Metro here, not one that I've seen before. Looks decent, but it's not really a game I care for. It is at a really cheap price of £2.50. Probably a little bit of buyer's regret. I didn't pick that one up. Thinking about it, for the price, I should have really nabbed that one today. Now in this particular branch, they've got a section for the more niche systems, shall we say. OG Xbox, as you can see here, not much going on at all. And it's the same with the PSP, as you can see here. There's a few games, nothing major, and they're all mixed in with the UMD movies as well. Anyway, before we show you the rest of the shop, just want to show you a couple of things that you can pick up now over at the Whizbits Random Gaming shop. We've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got hats, and we've even got a pint glass on offer. Now these things are just there if you want to pick them up. There's no pressure, it's just a nice gesture if you want to support the channel. You can also join our membership as well if that's another way you want to show support, from 99p a month. You get exclusive access to the Random Retro podcast and episodes of Unfinished Business in advance. Anyway, let's check out the rest of this shop before we check out that PlayStation 1 game and whether or not it is in good condition. Now the PS3 sections in this shop and the 360 sections, pretty small to be honest with you. And I will say that the PlayStation 2 section, considering how many titles are available for the system, it was fairly small as well. But I did see a game that I wouldn't mind picking up. It's one that I see very often, and it's this here, Time Crisis 3. We've got 2 copies, so we can have a bit of a mix and match to make sure one's got a manual, whatever disc is in better condition, which is always a plus when you're in shops like this. Now there's a game that people don't talk about often enough, and that is Gun, which came out on the PS2 and the 360. I think that was a brilliant game, one that is rarely spoken about in circles today, and I just don't understand why. Maybe it's Red Dead Redemption completely overshadowing it, which I totally understand. Yeah, of course, that is the far superior game, but people shouldn't write Gun off. It's a great game. Shadow of Colossus there, really nice copy. Not often you see one in such good condition. I've already got it, so there was no need for me to pick it up. But yeah, if you're in the area of Enfield and that's a game you're looking for, it's worth picking up. Now the Wii section, pretty much full of fodder. Nothing really here that I personally was looking for, and I really do like buying for the Wii. I'm pretty much in the minority there. I know a lot of people don't care for the system. I do. I quite like it. I like digging deep to see what you can find on the system. There's some real gems. Now, as I said, we are going for the full Wii U set, and here's a game that I need for the system. But this is going to be part of a bundle that I'm negotiating for right now, and I'm glad that I don't actually have to go to the counter with that game today. Now we've got quite a few DS games here as well. I'm not really a DS collector. I pick up the odd game here and there. And when I do pick up games for the system, it's ones that I generally want to play that I can't get on any other system. The other half, she likes the DS as well, so she likes to pick up Mario every now and then and give it a go. But I am thinking about collecting for the DS. It's something that I've been thinking about for a little while, and it's because the games themselves, they're not that big, and with limited space like I have, it's a good system to consider. Anyway, let's check out what I picked up today. So we did pick up Time Crisis 3, as I showed you earlier. It's a game I've seen multiple times, but for some reason or other, I always thought it could only be played with the light gun. And I had a quick Google whilst I was in the shop and noticed that it can actually be played with the analog sticks. So that confirmed it for me. Bit of a rookie mistake on my part. I should have known better. I should have had this already. We also picked up Dark as well, as I did double check on the CLZ app that I use, and this is a game I don't own physically. It's really cheap at £5, and I don't see this one too often, if I'm honest. I've owned it digitally for some time and I've never actually played it. Maybe owning it physically might give me the impetus to do so. But anyway, let's check out the PS1 game that I was considering buying. Now, many of you might have guessed, and if you guessed rightly, well done. It was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I don't actually own this game. It's the only one out of the original trilogy that I don't own. But unfortunately, I double checked through it and it had mold all over the cover, and the instruction manual looked like it had got serious water damage. It looked like a sort of adult mag you would find in the forest back in the day. Or was that just me? Anyway, guys, it was disappointing. I did go down to this particular branch to pick this game up. However, I have sourced another branch quite local to me that's got a copy. So I'll be heading down there in the next couple of weeks and hoping that I can add this one to the collection. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, that was the Enfield branch at the beginning of 2026. Let me know what you guys thought. I didn't pick up the game I wanted, but I still came away with a couple of games to add to the collection that I was quite happy with. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.